The following podcast is brought to you by the Johners Podcasting Network, found exclusively at WrestlingWithJohners.com.
Hey everybody, it's DDJ and the Hot One, Giovanni Too Hottie here. Once again, Joey K is not with us. I don't know what it is with him in this toilet, but he cannot just seem to get away from the toilet long enough to do the show for us. Once again, I'd like to take a moment on behalf of the team to apologize for not having an show for last week. But as many of you know, we're recording this on Monday, February 21st, and exactly 1 week ago, I had to say goodbye to my mom, who was one of my best friends, my rock. And I forgot to turn my phone on vibrate, so excuse me there. You know what, though? Like they always say, the show must go on. I know my mom's good. She's in a better place. I'm in a better place. I'm ready to rock and roll, get back in the saddle again. Giovanni Too Hottie, what do you say? You want to do this?
I am ready to do this. Let's go, brother.
All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, Shootin' Shit starts now. I just gotta have a reason to play the beep every once in a while. So,
what is wrong with you?
I start piling on the investment money.
yes, indeed, we are back for another brand new episode of Shootin' Shit. And it's just me and the Hot One today because, once again, like we mentioned in the intro, Joey K cannot get off the toilet. Hot One, what do you think's going on with Joey K in the toilet?
You know, I'm thinking irritable bowel syndrome. Maybe it got so bad he got stuck. We may need to go send help.
Kind of like that one episode of South Park where Clyde's mom got stuck in the toilet seat and ended up dying after he flushed or something.
Yes. It's gonna pull his soul.
I think he got one of those bidets, and he just loves the feeling of the water shooting up into his ass, and I think he just can't get away from it. That's what I think's going on.
Joey K and the bidet. That's a whole different story.
Oh, and also before we get on to the show, I just want to tell you, and I know Joey K isn't with us again. We love you, man, and take your time, man. We'll be here waiting for you. But I got 4 words for you. I told you so.
Oh, what about now?
Well, when we did our last time together, we did some Super Bowl predictions, and I believe I was the only one that picked the Rams to actually win the game.
Yeah, I instantly regretted my choice on that decision when I'm watching pregame. They're like, Aaron Donald might be retiring after the game. I said, well, hell, now they're going to win it because he's going to play like a monster.
And played like a monster, he did.
Got the game-winning, sack. So
yeah,
it's amazing.
Yeah, and I thought I was well on my way to being good with the Super Bowl MVP until he got hurt. But you know what? Congrats to the LA Rams. Congrats to Cooper Kupp on a well-deserved Super Bowl MVP. And let's get on to it. We got a lot of stuff we got to talk about this week, man. What do you want to start with?
How about I told you so on my part, man?
All right, what do you got?
We did a show a couple weeks ago where we talked about Cody Rhodes and the Cody Rhodes situation. And I believe I was the only one who said Cody Rhodes needs to retire because the fans do not appreciate him. So let's jump into Cody.
All right. So as many of you well know, the big story that broke last week, I think it was about a week ago, it'll be on Tuesday when this episode should be dropping, was that Cody and Brandy Rhodes are no longer a part of AEW. And of course, as soon as that news broke, the speculation started that Cody was going back to the WWE. What do you think? Do you think that's what's going to happen? What do you think's going on?
I don't see him going back to Vince, even though you can never say never to the WWE. Everybody that seems like they legitimately hate the company has always came back. Look at your Bret Harts. Look at,
Hogan.
Yeah, Hogan was a big one. And they came
Goldberg
back.
even.
Goldberg, yeah. And they ended up back in the WWE for one reason or another. And everybody knows that reason is money.
Mm-hmm.
Vince and the machine can pay anybody any amount that they want to sell their soul. For Cody, I can see him doing it just because it is the downswing of his career. He maybe has 2 or 3 years left that he wants to continue to wrestle. He does have a brand new baby, family starting up, but there's too much smoke out there. The press releases from Cody Rhodes, Brandy Rhodes, AEW, the Instagram videos and little tidbits that they have out there, Cody with Liberty, and they're saying basically this is how you have a retirement, or this is how you pass time in retirement. I think they're pushing it a little too much that he's gone. Granted, yes, it's a big deal. Everybody in the company from AEW, all the big ones at least, are talking about it. I don't feel like it's a massive work for him to go back to AEW, but I feel like he's not done wrestling.
So where do you think he goes?
We'll jump into Impact Wrestling a little later and speak specifically about this little club a little later.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, there's too much desertion in Bullet's Club. I think it's prime time for a new leader in Japan who could possibly take over the club while Jay White's in the States. So I'm seeing Cody to New Japan.
Okay, well, you and I have talked about this many times in our chat that we have going on Facebook between us, and also in the show chat that we have with Joey K as well too. I'm gonna come right out and say it. I think this whole thing is a work. I think Cody is working everybody. I think he's working most of the AEW roster. I think he's working all the dirt sheet riders. He's working Meltzer, Alvarez, and just anybody who, all the way from those guys down to the people, who write for, like our friends at Buckle Bomb Entertainment and Dirt Sheet Radio and everybody and stuff. I think he's working everybody. I think he's working the WWE. I feel like there's so much going on that they're trying to, and I think this is something that is going on between Tony, Cody, and maybe a select few others, Brandy, and like a few others, maybe in some sort of inner circle. Because, and I've been thinking
there's no more inner circle. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong one. Go ahead.
Wrong inner circle. We can talk about that a little bit later. But think about this. And I mean, if for some reason he does show up in the WWE, how does that make him look in terms of to the wrestling fans and stuff with everything that he did? I mean, you look at the very first AEW show. What did Cody do? He came out, did the Triple H entrance, then he turned around and destroyed the throne.
Yep.
He's definitely been pretty open about his shots that he's taken at the WWE. And to me, for him to go back and, to the WWE, it to me, I feel like it, not for me, because you know what, if that's where he's going to go and he wants to get his money, good on him.
Right.
He's earned that. But I just feel like he thought the wrestling Twitter and the wrestling fans hated him before. If he shows up in the WWE, the majority, and I don't say because we know there's a lot of diehard Cody fans out there. The word sellout comes to mind in the word, because I mean just everything he did just to kind to tuck tail and go back. I don't think he's going to do that, because I don't think Cody's that stupid.
Yeah.
I like the idea of what you brought up about him going back to New Japan, and I thought that as well too, because I think that's really like the one place. Yeah, he's a former IWGP United States Heavyweight Champion, but I feel like that's like the one promotion that he really hasn't made his mark in. And I kind of feel like he wants to do that. Like, I think he would like to say, you know, he made his mark in New Japan before he called it a career. But you also think about this. His shirts are still up on AEW, Shop AEW. They're still up on Pro Wrestling Tees, obviously, and they're made on demand. It's not like they're sitting on a stack of Cody shirts and they have to get rid of them and stuff.
Right.
I feel like if he was gone and he was going, you know what, and I could be wrong. He could show up on, 1500th episode of Monday Night Raw will have aired by the time this episode drops. They may bring him out tonight. A lot of people thought they were going to bring him out in Saudi Arabia. You know, there was reports that he was at the airport in Poland.
Yeah.
There were reports that he was he was in Orlando. But I mean, they can go anywhere. And Cody, if I'm not mistaken, when they were at the Rumble, wasn't there a tweet that he sent out or something on his Instagram where
he was in St. Louis?
Yeah. So I just feel like he's doing all this stuff. I feel like it's a work and I think he's trolling everybody. He's working everybody, and you know what? I love it. We need something like this. We need to be genuinely shocked. Like, I don't want to, because I feel like if Cody shows up in the WWE, everybody's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I told you so. I saw it on Twitter. He was going blah blah blah." I would love for him to come back, say it like Revolution, and be like. So and just like go, and do some sort of like invasion, a hostile takeover, and stuff. But okay. I think it's a work.
So you brought up a good point with the AEW, the Shop AEW shirts. I pulled up Shop AEW.
Can't really see with your background there.
Yeah, it's not going to pull up.
Yeah.
But anyway, just believe me. I pulled up Shop AEW. They have the newest Cody Rhodes shirt since 1985 with the badass looking skull and wings and shit. They have the Cody Rhodes versus Anthony Ogogo shirt.
Mm-hmm.
The Cody Rhodes Pride shirt. The Cody Rhodes Malachi Black shirt. The Cody Rhodes Black Craft shirt. That's the one with the blue skull on flames.
Mm-hmm.
The LJN figure. The heel face winner shirt and the Brotherhood shirt. All the other Cody Rhodes shirts are not there.
I still feel like this is a work, but you know what? We'll have to wait and see because there's plenty of wrestling to watch.
Yeah.
So we mentioned Saudi Arabia. So let's kind of go into our next big thing here with Elimination Chamber. Just happened on Saturday afternoon. It started at 11 o'clock for us here in the central part of the United States of America. A lot of things coming out of that. Obviously, Brock Lesnar is once again the WWE champion, and it is official now. It's a title for title, winner take all between Brock and Roman at WrestleMania this year. Again, I believe our own hot one here will be in attendance.
Oh yeah, it's in Dallas, my backyard.
And but there was a lot of things that come out of that. Obviously, the big news was Bobby Lashley being taken out of the Elimination Chamber match. The spot that happened when Austin Theory was flung into the Lashley's pod while Lashley was staring down Lesnar, and they played it off as if he suffered a concussion, but reports just came out that it's in regards to him having to take time off now for a shoulder injury that most likely, I believe, was sustained at the Royal Rumble in his match against Brock Lesnar.
Right.
I think it sucks because what Lashley's done for about the last year or so has just been nothing short of spectacular, and I think it's a shame that he's most likely going to have to miss WrestleMania this year. But overall, what do you think of the show? And is there a match that you liked kind of more than everything else?
The show once again in Saudi Arabia was amazing. I think last year the show, was it the greatest Royal Rumble last year? No,
I think it was Crown Jewel.
Crown Jewel, there we go. Last year was Crown Jewel. Crown Jewel was amazing. This year's show, a very, very good show again. It wasn't throwaway, don't watch shows. Where some of the, outcomes predictable, yeah, but going into Mania, you're not going to really have big spoilers, anything big throw off, the plans. We all knew Brock was going to win. But that takes me to my highlight of the night. It was an Elimination Chamber match, but it wasn't the men. The women killed the Elimination Chamber.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Dude, the win by itself, the winner, Bianca Belair, amazing choice. Alexa Bliss came in there looking like a beast. Nobody in that match really went out looking weak. Everybody had their high spots. There was big moments.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, well, this was clearly match of the night. I do have a 1B, but this one here was the match of the night. And it came on really early in the show.
Yeah, I believe it was the second match of the show.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. That was my pick for match of the night. Like I said, I thought all 6 women in there did great. I think they each had their time to shine. I thought Rhea Ripley looked amazing in the match as well too, and I feel like maybe she's finally getting herself on the right track to being where she should be or should have been a few months ago.
You know what? Side note on Ripley,
yeah.
Of course they had altered gear because they're in Saudi Arabia. They're a little bit more covered up.
Right.
I think Rhea should stick with her gear the way she had it in Saudi. It looked a lot better, in my opinion, than the top she normally wears. Like that leather-looking top with her jeans the way she normally has them. I was like, dude, that's a good look for her.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited. We talked about the women. I think for the most part, I thought the women really killed it, not just in the Elimination Chamber match. I thought Becky versus Lita was really good.
Yes.
The tag match, I wasn't a huge fan of. It was easily the weakest of the 3 women's matches, in my opinion. But I love with all this going on with this tag match, I just really love that they're finally, giving Naomi something again, because she's someone that's like vastly underrated and does not get the credit and the love that she truly deserves.
The tag match, though, man, was such a wet fart for me. As soon as Ronda came out in her judo gi, having the arm tied, I'm like, oh, come on. It's already gimmicky, and then you're going to do this. I was out of it at that point.
Yeah. But one thing I do want to give, person I want to give a shout out to from Elimination Chambers is Madcap Moss.
Yes.
If you did not see the bump that he took with the I think it was an Alabama Slam, it's a miracle that he not only finished the match, but he was able to walk away. And I believe they said he was fine. Like he was, he's not concussed but I mean, it's just a miracle.
Issues.
I mean, the way his head looked, and I remember like when I saw it, I cringed. I was scared for a split second. It's like, I mean, it was scary, but for him to get up and walk away from that, you know what? Shout out to Madcap Moss, who, another guy who's really starting, I think, to kind of gain some traction.
I was actually hoping that this would have been the night they let him get the big win, because I feel like he is, like you said, he's on that row of, starting to get traction with the fans. Happy Corbin, it's hit or miss for a lot of people, but him and Moss, I kind of dig it. But I really thought this was going to be his big win moment somehow, even if it was by dirty means. I thought he would get the big moment, but he had a hell of a showing, and to get back up, be completely fine after what I could only describe as a New Japan neck drop. It is amazing.
Yeah. And also, too, some other things of note. Roman Reigns had choked out Bill Goldberg with the guillotine. One of the very few times I think Goldberg actually lost a match either by passing out or submission. So, I mean, they're making Roman Reigns look unstoppable. And obviously, again, we know that the main event probably for night 2 of WrestleMania is going to be Roman versus Brock, title for title. And there are people out there that I've seen that are, complaining about this match happening again. I believe this is technically will be the third time that they've locked horns at WrestleMania. But one of the reasons why I don't have an issue with this, and I'd like to get your take on this.
Hit it.
It's each version of this match. It's like the characters were different. I mean, like, you had the first time at WrestleMania 31, where Rollins cashed in. Roman was that baby face that they were just really trying to shove down everybody's throats that they were rejecting. Then you go to WrestleMania 34. I think, this is when Brock was basically like just tearing through everybody. And just like literally just making people bleed a la the hard way and just really being rough with them. But I really like this one here because I feel like out of the 3 WrestleMania matches that these guys have had, this one here that we're about to see has had the best story going into Mania. And with, Paul Heyman, the bloodline and everything, I just feel like that. And that's why this isn't like, another, again or anything like that. I just feel like there's a fresh coat of paint and I'm all for it. I'm anxious to see what happens. And that, so also too, we had, I'm trying to think here with Elimination Chamber. I mean, it was just all in all, I thought it was a pretty good show as well too. I felt there were some, obviously a lot of bright spots, some not so bright spots, but you get that with every show. Anything else?
All in all, man, it was a fairly good show to watch on a Saturday afternoon. And to go to your Brock and Roman, man, I don't feel like this is the third time we're seeing these guys go together right now. Completely different dynamic than when we were getting force-fed, Roman. Different dynamic than when we were being force-fed Brock. Right now, we go into strange territory, man. We've got Super Roman, with the streak unrivaled by anybody but maybe Super Cena. And you've got this country funny bumpkin Brock, who I hate to say it, I really, really like Brock. The Brock right now to me is amazing. So it feels like a completely, totally different matchup. Yes, it's the same 2 guys, but we're gonna see a difference, in the way the match is told, hopefully. Because you have, in my mind, a solidified babyface in Brock Lesnar, who, yes, still the beast incarnate. Yes, come in, suplex everybody, leave, but it's different. He freaking took photos with people in Saudi after he got done winning. When's the last time you seen Brock do that shit? And you have...
I think I've never seen it.
Yeah, me neither. It threw me off. He was taking photos and smiling with the fans. And then you have on the other side your set in stone heel in Roman Reigns, who is just about the acknowledgement. I'm the best. This is my show. And it's a different dynamic than we've ever had from these 2 going in. I expect this to be a very, very good showing at WrestleMania. For everybody complaining right now, give it a shot. Let's see how it goes. And just to put any, lingering doubts out there, I'm not a WWE fanboy. I've been accused of being an AEW mark. If you guys listen to the show, you know this. And I'm saying that I'm giving this match a chance.
The only thing that we can honestly say that the hot one is a mark of, and that's a Moose.
That's right. Moose.
So a couple of things here. You mentioned Brock. It was also reported that him busting out of the chamber wasn't supposed to happen. He went off script. I actually thought that was really cool.
I liked it.
Like I loved it, because then you knew like shit was gonna go down. And one more shout out to Austin Theory for taking that F5 from the top of the chamber, the pod.
The only thing in all of the wrestling chats that we're in that you could see happening over and over again is everybody putting the JR, by God, he's killed him. By God, he's killed him.
All right. So Elimination Chamber wasn't the only show going on Saturday. We also had a really good, and I'm still trying to find some time to actually sit down and watch this. But I read the results and everything. But from everything that I've seen and heard, man, Impact Wrestling had a hell of a show Saturday night with No Surrender. Did you get a chance to watch it?
I have, and oh my Jesus, Saturday was a freaking night for wrestling, dude.
Yeah.
It was, hell, I even think GCW had a show. And then shameless plug here, guys. If you have IWTV, yes, the independents, there's this league called Prestige Wrestling. Go look that shit up. Their first thing was over this weekend. Oh my god, amazing. Think the main event, if I can remember right, was Buddy Matthews and shit. I can't remember. It was a hell of a match. The show top to bottom stacked with just, great people. Warhorse was on the show. Taya Valkyrie was on the show. Guys, go look it up. Trust me, you're not going to regret it. Prestige Wrestling. It's amazing. But back to Impact. DDJ, are you frozen over there?
No, I'm here.
Okay, I thought you got scared of the Impact. Don't be scared of the Impact.
No, I'm trying to get comfy.
Get comfy, because here we go. We're don't stop, never surrendering. The big news out of this thing, guys, is, of course, still your Impact reigning, defending heavyweight champion of the world, the man they call Moose. W. Morrissey, good luck, guys. He's a good player. He's a hell of a wrestler. He's a hell of a hand, as they always say. But everybody knows Morrissey hasn't been good since he left Enzo. Anyway, Dunzo with that. Moose is the champion. Couple of other big time things to take away from this one. There was a tag team championship match, guys, where the Good Brothers and the Gorillas of Destiny went at it. We're talking about Bullet Club OG factions, both of them, respectfully. And a certain person we saw on Rampage kind of played into the deciding factor on this one. DDJ, did you read upon this?
I did.
Dude, the leader of the Bullet Club, the one and only Jay White, the Switchblade, he came out there, nice shirt. I can't wait till mine gets here. He went out there and pretty much gave the win to the Good Brothers, ousting the GOD from the Bullet Club. Kind of harken back to what I said earlier with the Gorillas of Destiny no longer in Bullet Club. Cody to New Japan, Gorillas over there. Maybe we start up a firing squad with Cody. Who knows where we go from here? But we do know a good friend of ours, Tamatonga, loves long-term storytelling.
Yep.
He's always said that the firing squad storyline is not done. I feel like we might see the firing squad sometime soon. Knowing that him and Loa are both still under contract with NJPW, I feel it could be with Cody over there in Japan. So we'll see what happens.
You know what? I'm going to say this. If for some reason we don't see Cody in the firing squad, you know what? There's only one other guy that they need to get. They just need to go get back and get Daddy. They just know you need to go back and get King Haku. I don't know. I think he's probably close to. He's got to be in his 60s or something. But
he'll jack you up.
He's still scary as hell. That's all they need. They just need their dad. They just need Dad.
Their daddy.
Yeah.
And that's a scary man, to be honest. Let's see here. Oh,
remember
yeah.
that time we took the Tongan death grip?
Yes. Okay. DDJ.
Yo.
The current day belt collector himself retained the Impact Digital Media Championship. Yes. Woo, woo, woo. You remember him. Matt Cardona, bro.
Always ready.
Always ready. This man has turned into Kenny Omega out of nowhere, coming with all these belt reigns now. It's pretty cool, actually, to see what he's doing. A little shot taken at the WWE not too long ago where he posted, imagine I could be doing what I'm doing now or chasing the 24/7 title. So
yep.
He's doing a hell of a job.
He's doing quite all right for himself right now.
Hell yeah, he is. Deonna Purrazzo defended, I believe, the ROH Women's Championship. I can't remember who it was against, but It doesn't matter. Deanna's
I think
a
it was
solid
Miranda Alizé.
okay, with Miranda Alizé, ROH girl, but it didn't matter. That wasn't the ROH match of the night to talk about. Of
Nope.
course, the whole thing, and feel me here, DDJ, because they've used this tagline before, and it wasn't even for here. If you remember, the very first person to say, "Is honor real?" was EC3 when he
Yeah.
was controlling his narrative.
Yep.
Now, Honor No More has been stating that they're trying to see if honor is real in wrestling, and they're proving that it's not. Guys, if you go back and try to watch anything from this pay-per-view, of course, other than the Moose match,
Oh,
give
God.
this 5-on-5
Stop
a
with
shot.
the moose dick sucking.
I moved off of it quick. Go give the 5 versus 5 match here a watch. I'll tell you the winner, but I won't tell you how they won, because that's a shot to the heart to Impact Wrestling's faithful who may not know where this person actually did start. But Honor No More is staying in the Impact Zone. Get used to seeing PCO. Get used to seeing Vincent, the ever smelling good Matt Taven. Get used to seeing, there you go, you know, the Canellises, the Canelli, however you want to pluralize Canellis.
Canelli. I like that, the Canelli.
They're staying. They did get the win, but I'm not spoiling this match. You need to go watch it. You need to see how this came about. But like I said, Honor may be no more, but they're here to stay in Impact.
Man, when I heard about that, I was shocked. But then I kind of went back and thought about it, and I'm like, was it really that shocking?
Exactly.
And that, so, but yeah, I need to get back and watch it. I want to get back because I read there, and it just, by all accounts, it just seemed like it was a really good show.
Yeah. It's the best show no one's watching. We always say that about Impact.
Yeah. And guys, if you don't have Access TV, which fortunately I do, I believe you can watch it on YouTube. I think they put it up on their YouTube page. I know they have a thing on YouTube where if you spend, I think it's like a few bucks a month, you get the Impact shows there, and then like some pretty cool stuff. They still have Impact Plus, which is the only way legally that you can watch No Surrender live.
They also have a channel on Roku, man, on the Pluto streaming app.
Pluto as well.
I watch that a lot, actually.
Yeah, and they have a lot of good stuff. And I know Access TV lately has been showing before on Thursdays and before Impact, they've been showing a lot of their old pay-per-views, and which is, that's some really good stuff there. But yeah, I'm with you, man. Impact really is the best show nobody is watching, and it's a shame because all the talent they have there, it's just a stacked roster that really holds up against anything, what the WWE's putting out, what AEW's putting out. I mean, you and I, and I'm sure Joey K would all be in agreement that they easily have far and away the best women's division in pro wrestling.
Oh yeah, easily.
And that, so, but we talked about No Surrender. We talked about the developments with Bullet Club, but New Japan actually has been a lot of things have been coming out of New Japan lately. And the big one here is that Sonata finally got himself some singles gold.
Yeah, I think it was after 6 years, wasn't it?
Something like that, yeah. And I mean, I think it's a long time coming. I mean, I think it's well overdue. I mean, and good for him. I believe he beat Tanahashi, correct?
Yep, the ace.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, but that wasn't the only thing that's coming out. We had Okada and Naito have another banger, which they always seems to happen when these two get in the ring. And I mean, there's a lot of stuff coming up. Speaking of which, if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see this coming up on the screen here. And if you're listening to this on wherever you get your podcast from, first off, thank you so much for listening. But the brackets for the New Japan Cup have been released, and I believe that it is quite a stacked lineup here in terms of the talent that they have for this. I mean, you've got names from Kota Ibushi to Hiroki Goto to Yujiro Takahashi to Minoru Suzuki. I mean, there's no shortage of talent in this match. And playing, obviously we've got the March Madness coming up here in a couple weeks, but we kind of have our own version of, I guess you could call it February Madness with this bracket coming out. And I think the New Japan Cup will get under the way soon. But just looking at the brackets here right now, is there one or two names that you would love to see make either a deep run or win it all?
I'm gonna give you a person who I wanted to win it all, and I'm gonna give you a matchup I really hope we get to see.
Shoot.
A matchup I want to see, and it's purely just because I'm me and it's who I like. I want to see Tama Tonga, and I want to see Minoru Suzuki. That's a potential matchup.
That was actually one I kind of had eyed when I was looking at the bracket as well, too.
See, that would be a banger, some hard slapping action. And come on, shooters, you guys out there know. And if you know us, you know who I'm going to pick. There is nobody else that can actually win this whole thing than the Commonwealth Kingpin himself, the former real New Japan Pro Wrestling champion who's never gotten his actual chance at that belt back because we all know Shingo can't really beat him. So they had to have Okada do it. Will Ospreay takes it all.
Okay, so what I'm about to say, don't be shocked. Don't keel over of a heart attack and shock.
Oh no!
As much as I would love to see what our guy Will Ospreay, who we've both had the pleasure of meeting in person, it's just a class act all the way.
Yes.
Go back a couple weeks when we to listen to Jovan to recount the story that he told us about being drunk on the Jericho cruise nonstop.
72 hours, he said, of being just hammered, and he still wrestled.
Yeah. So while I would have absolutely zero issue and I would be ecstatic if Will Ospreay wins this whole thing, there's one person who's actually in the United Empire that I think is just as ready, if not just, I think deserves at least that chance. And if you're watching this, you can kind of see again Giovanni's in front of a green screen here or something. So he's at an undisclosed location with just a brick back wall. So maybe he's at the brick house. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I'm outside Joey K's house. I was doing a wellness check.
That's what it is. Okay, so we now know that Joey K, at least one side of his house is brick. So
brick wall. Yeah,
well, we're eventually going to track him down and get him off the toilet. But going back to me. I think he should have went all the way with the G1, and he was well on his way doing that until he ran into the current IWGP Heavyweight Champion Okada. But to me, I think if you are ready to strap a rocket on Jeff Cobb, this is the time to do it.
100% agree.
He is primed. He is ready. He's shown he can go. The things this guy can do are just unlike anybody else that's out there. Well, again, we love Will Ospreay, and we would have zero objections to Will Ospreay winning this thing. But to me, I feel like, you know what, the time is now for Jeff Cobb.
Dude, that's a great solid pick, Jeff Cobb. I mean, when you look at it in the G1, I think he almost amassed the most points ever. If he would have won, he would have amassed. Yeah. Mm-hmm. If he would have won, he would have amassed the most points ever in the G1 tournament. Yep. So you see that they're willing to go in on him. It might be his time.
Yeah, I would definitely say. I say if you're gonna do it, let's do it now. Let's see what he's got. Let's see, let's put him in the main event of let's say Wrestling Dontaku or Dominion. And stuff, and give him a shot at the belt, just to see how he can handle it, And I think I think he's going to do just fine if you give him that chance. I think he's ready.
I like it. I like it a lot.
And I believe if the way I was looking at the bracket set up, I believe if both men proceeded accordingly, I believe we would get Cobb versus Okada in the semifinals. So
redemption.
I say, you know what? Let's let Cobb get his win back on Okada. Okada's title won't be on the line. Okada's Teflon. He can take a loss to Jeff Cobb without it hurting him.
Okada has taken losses to the biggest names in pro wrestling, Kenny Omega, and that's all you need to know. No, I'm just joking. Kenny Omega, Naito has beaten Okada.
Kota Ibushi.
Kota Ibushi became God when he beat Okada.
Yep.
And that's what a win over Okada does. It makes you a wrestling god. Now, that was for the title. That was at, the biggest show of all time for them. That was at Wrestle Kingdom. This is a tournament. Everybody knows anything goes in a tournament.
Yep.
I'd love to see Will. I would love to see Will Ospreay take it. Like we said, we're big time fans. Great guy. Met him. He's hilarious. He was awesome. But if he doesn't, Jeff Cobb is the pick. Lock him in.
All right, so we pretty much ran through everything that we had today and stuff. But one thing that we also do want to talk about, because honestly, as wrestling fans, we're both pretty shocked that this hasn't been hyped up more. But again, we're recording this on Monday the 21st. And Monday Night Raw is set to go on the air here in a couple hours once we finish up here. Up until a couple hours ago, I didn't realize that it was episode number 1500 of Monday Night Raw. And usually with these landmark episodes, they hype it like crazy. I remember like all the insanity that went into episode 1000 or
Raw 100.
Yeah, the 100th episode, the 500th episode. You mentioned.
Damn, am I old that's the immediate one I thought was Raw 100?
Man, you and I think we all look at the 10th anniversary show, back in 2003. I mean, it's just so many things. And we're talking almost 30 years of Monday Night Raw. And in that time, tons of great matches, tons of memorable, unforgettable moments. Gun to your head, you got one match and one moment from Monday Night Raw that that sticks out to you more than anything. What do you got?
The match is easy. That's the easiest part. The match is the thing that stopped the WCW hype train from taking over the Monday Night Raw wars. Guys, the match has to be Mick Foley winning the championship on Monday Night Raw. They came out and said, hey, and guess what? They're putting the belt on Foley. Everybody went to watch Mankind get that belt. So yeah, that's the match. Moment. I really like This Is Your Life, Rock. Freaking amazing. But I don't want to go to the same well twice. Stone Cold had a lot of memorable moments. That was greatness.
Yeah, there's so many people that had so many memorable moments.
On Raw, Raw is great. It used to have some really great moments. You know what? Screw it. Cancel me already. Edge and Lita. No, I'm just joking. We're not doing it. Give me was that SmackDown? Kurt Angle in the milk trucks. That's SmackDown.
No, that was Raw.
That was wrong. Give me Kurt Angle in the milk truck. Milkomania.
All right. So for me, I'm gonna. There's so many, and I mean, if I might break my own rule here and maybe throw out a couple. And if you've got a couple other you want to discuss, we can keep this conversation going. But the first thing I think about is, in terms of a match, you know me. You've known me for a few years now, Javon, and I love the old school wrestling. I'm a huge fan of like the 80s, early 90s, up until the Attitude Era and stuff like that. There was a match, I want to say it was like sometime in 1994. It featured, and it was a match that actually, if you listen to, I believe Punk talk about it, it was set up. This was basically the match that CM Punk versus Darby Allin was modeled after.
Yeah.
And for those of you who aren't hardcore fans that kind of don't understand what we're talking about here, I'm talking about Bret the Hitman Hart defending the WWF Championship against the 1-2-3 Kid on an episode of Monday Night Raw, where Bret just made him look just like it was a match where you honestly thought the Kid was actually going to do it.
Yep.
There were lots of false finishes and just had you on the edge of your seat. That's one. Another match I think of that I always look back with, very fondly was about a week or two after WrestleMania 23. It was the big rematch. I believe they were in London with John Cena and Shawn Michaels, where they went almost an hour.
Yeah.
Now, moment-wise, you kind of alluded to this when you talked about your match, and to me, it was just a moment of Foley winning the title. And it wasn't just because of the fact that, Shivani spoiled it on Nitro and, basically everybody went to Raw and watched it, but just the pure unadulterated joy that Foley had in his face when he held that title. It
was a locker clearing moment.
It was, and it was well deserved. I mean, I still like, everybody talks about how their favorite Mick Foley moment was when he fell off the cell or anything. But to me, this is like, anytime I talk Mick Foley, that moment is what I think of. You also got to talk about DX showing up to Nitro.
Yes.
And stuff. I mean, that was just groundbreaking. And just imagine how much better it could have been if like Hall and Nash if they opened that door and let them in.
Yep.
You talk about that. You mentioned, Milkomania. We talk about what spurred that. The beer truck the week before WrestleMania 15 with Austin getting the McMahons and The Rock. I mean, there are just so many moments that just, that
Mae Young giving birth to Hand.
Really? Oh. You had to go there, huh?
And then Hand came back on a Monday Night Raw.
So, all grown up.
All grown up.
And stuff. I mean, there's just so much out there. I mean, you mentioned you briefly alluded to Edge and Lita and their celebration. I mean, it's just all the stuff with Austin and McMahon. The debut of Mr. Sacco leading to Bedpan McMahon.
Bedpan McMahon was great.
And then Austin putting cement in the Corvette. I mean, it's just, you could go on and on and on. And guys, you see, if you're watching this, you're on YouTube, you see our socials. If you're listening to this, our socials are in the episode description. Give us a shout out, reach out to us, tweet us, send us a message on Facebook. Let us know what your favorite moment from Raw was.
I mean, there's no wrong answer, man. You have matches like DDJ said.
No. I'm gonna stop you right there. Mae Young giving birth to the Hand, that's wrong.
Come on, man. That was greatness. But like, you have moments in matches that become synonymous with the show, and it's not necessarily just synonymous with Raw, but it's synonymous with wrestling. Throw out there Shelton Benjamin, Shawn Michaels, that super kick from hell, bro.
I mentioned him earlier, the 1-2-3 Kid beating Razor Ramon.
Yeah. You have the guy that they don't talk about anymore versus Kurt Angle in a steel cage match.
You have the one of my favorite early moments of Raw was with was Bobby Heenan's last night in the WWF when he got thrown out of the building by Gorilla Monsoon. I mean, just think about all the years they spent together.
Oh, Gorilla. Let's see. Do I have anything else? I think I'm good on Monday Night Raw. Actually, no. How can I forget? Monday Night Raw. And I think this is because of the hype. It was one of the anniversaries. It could have been, I think it was Raw 100 when they came back from the small venue, the small one in New York. The
Manhattan Center?
Yeah, the Manhattan Center. I like that because it was a throwback. That was a good nod.
When you say Raw 100, like, are you talking about?
Was it Raw 100 when they did it? They had the two locations, and
that was the 25th anniversary of Raw.
25th anniversary of Raw.
So that was like about shit, I want to say that was close to now about, that was like about 4 years ago, I think.
Okay, that I enjoyed that a lot.
I mean, we talk about you all the stuff that was mentioned. I mean, there just the Money in the Bank cash-ins, like when the Miz cashed in on Randy Orton. You had the birth of the angry Miz girl. You had the debut of Nexus.
Nexus, yes.
The pipe, CM Punk's pipe bomb.
Yeah, the pipe bomb was on a Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many memories, and it's just. I'll even give a recent one that I really liked, and I think this is going to be one that's going to be talked about in a few years when we're talking about, the 2000th episode of Raw or the the 35th. I want to throw out the academic challenge, the quiz bowl with RK Bro and American Alpha. I thought that was just phenomenal.
So you kill me for hand, and you bring out the academic quiz bowl.
All right, here. We're gonna do this. I think I want to do something that this show has not done. I want to put a poll up on our Twitter page. You can get the information on our episode description. Let's let the fans decide which one they thought was better: Mae Young giving birth to the hand, or the quiz bowl.
Let's do it. Whoever wins has to come out and say they won.
Oh, I have no problem saying that I won.
All right.
And that's so. And you know what? Maybe after the show or something, Giovanni and I can have a little discussion. Maybe we can make like a little friendly wager. Let's just not limit it to let's not just limit it to our Twitter. Let's throw it up, Facebook, let's get it out there. Let's let our shooters talk about which one they like more.
Oh, wow. This is going to be big. Hand versus academics. I feel good for the hand.
Yeah, especially when you talk about Moose.
That's right. Moose.
All righty then. Well, I think on that note, I think it's a good point to call it a show. Again,
DDJ.
Yo.
Does Cody show up tonight at Raw?
No.
All right. I don't think so either.
No, I like I said, going back to, I think that it's all an elaborate work, but if anything, he doesn't. If he has indeed signed or is going to sign with the WWE, you save him till Mania. You bring him out at Mania.
Who would be your opponent? Ideal.
Well, if he were healthy and could go, I would say you throw him in there with Triple H.
Oh,
but obviously
that's
that's
a heart attack.
With the case, because we don't know if we'll ever see Triple H in the ring again. But I would say if Triple H were good to go, I would say you throw him out there. See, and this is one of the things. Like, I don't really think there's no good second option. There isn't. Like, I just feel like he would just be there. But that's why I said I don't think he's going to show up. I think it's a work. But like I said, if he did, I could choose anybody, it would be Triple H.
I like it.
So, all right. Well, that is all the time we have for this episode of Shootin' Shit. Before we go, I just want to take a moment again to thank everybody out there for the love and support that that I've had shown my way these last few days. It's been an incredibly rough last 7 days. As again, many of you know, I lost my mom a week ago, and then the next day I went to go see my doctor, and I am actually going to be going under the knife again here in about a week to fix my knee. So we might see some slight changes on the show, maybe a few guest co-hosts or something. We're gonna once we know what's going on with the show, we'll be sure to let you all know and that. So, but again,
you'll have a solo show. I'll just do it by myself. I'll do a DDJ impression, a Joey K impression. I'll kill it.
God, if they're anything like your Shaquille O'Neal impersonations, man, these shows are gonna suck.
Oh, I feel like Shaq's gonna have to come on. Maybe Shaq is a big fan of hand. I'll have to get in touch with him and see what he says.
Shaq's got a big hand, so
He might be a big fan.
Might be a big fan of the hand. Who knows? But all right. Well, thanks again for listening. Again, follow us on Facebook and Twitter. You see our socials there. And ladies and gentlemen, this has been Shootin' Shit. Do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Follow the show on Twitter at SHOOTINSHT, and thanks for listening.